Hey everybody, well I was on vacation last week and I missed all the excitement with the Element of Choice patch notes and the Halloween events and all the changes to the interface. So I thought the next best thing is to take a look at everything after the upgrade and see what we have. So let's take a look at the ships first in the Element of Choice. You can see that I did purchase the first 30 Admiralty supply. The middle option for around 9,000 doubloons, and I generally do that so I can do some videos on some of the ships throughout the campaign. I did get 13 crates within the first 30 milestones, and none of them had any of the early access Russian cruisers, so there won't be any videos upcoming on those because I don't have the cruisers. So let's take a look at the main prizes of the campaign. One is the Friesland, which is a gunboat, and the other one is the Loyang, which is a torpedo boat, a Pan-Asian torpedo boat. And let's look at the Loyang first. It's your standard destroyer, I think. It's got a general commander, general purpose commander that seems to do it all. And the first upgrade here on the Loyang is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Then we have a choice between steering gears and propulsion mod. Third upgrade is probably going to be the concealment for anybody that picks a ship, I would guess. The fourth upgrade could either be increase the range of the main guns, decrease the main gun battery reload time, or lower the torpedo launcher reload time. Okay, so the next upgrade is a default upgrade, and that is the torpedo. So this is where you will get a much faster torpedo speed up to 68 knots, but you will reduce the range down to 6.7. So before this upgrade, you have a 55 knot speed and a 9.2 kilometer range. I've already sort of checked this out. So with this ship, you get either fast torpedoes at a short range or slow torpedoes at a farther range. So it's kind of like the choice of the worst of both worlds, I guess, because what you want is long range and fast torpedoes, and you've got an inversion of that depending on which of these torpedo options you select. So okay, so let's look at the loadout. And this is pretty standard. You can see here you can choose either the engine boost or the sonar. So the sonar, detection of torpedoes 3.8 kilometers, detection of ships 5.4 kilometers. Okay, so you've got a choice here. Each commander will make their own choice whether they want the engine boost or the sonar. Good luck with whichever choice you pick. As far as the stats, 16,100, 21 millimeter armor, 1 to 21 millimeter. It's not really all that thick, so again, don't get hit. Artillery, 10.8 kilometers, which is pretty good. 3.3 second reload time, which is great. The HE shell damage is right around 2,000 with a 5% chance of setting fire. AP shell damage is a little over 2,000. Okay. And here's your torpedoes. The reload time is 109 seconds. Maximum damage is 11,600. The range is 9.2 kilometers, like we said, as well as the torpedo speed. So if you upgrade the torpedoes, as we saw, the speed will go up to 68 knots, but the range will go down to 6.7. Depending on what your concealment ends up being, the 6.7 might be okay. With the faster speed, that would make that tolerable. And okay, here's your AA numbers. Maneuverability, 38 knots is pretty darn good. Turning circle radius of 570 meters is really good. Rudder shift time, sub 3 second. Rudder shift time is pretty good. Concealment, 6.9 kilometers. That will get reduced with the upgrade option number 3, as well as your commander, if you choose to go that way. And here's the armor. You see a little bit of green and blue, so it's a little bit thicker, I think, than a lot of other destroyers. So that is it for the Loyang. Let's take a look at the Friesland, which is a gunboat only. The commander here is Swirsky, so there's a problem with Swirsky if you choose this boat. But let's take a look at the upgrades first before we talk about that. Aiming systems mod 1, kind of standard. Here you choose between steering gears and propulsion mod. Third upgrade is the concealment, which I would certainly pick, but with a gunboat, you know, once you fire your shells, you're out in the open and you're going to be visible for 20 seconds. There is a commander that will reduce that a little bit by 20% if you max him out pretty high, so we'll be talking about that later because that's sort of my plan, actually. Targeting system mod 1, so here's spotting range goes up, torpedo detectability, RGA of ships. That's guaranteed acquisition of ships. And the last upgrade is AA guns, range of the main guns, or main battery reload time decrease, but you slow down the traverse speed, so might want to get a little bit more range. Either way, it's 3 million credits, silver credits. So let's look at the loadout. Nothing surprising here, except for the smoke generator here. The smoke screen dispersion time is over 2 minutes, which is pretty darn good. It takes 28 seconds to deploy, which I think is also pretty good. So you can really make a fairly big smoke screen, I think. All right, let's look at the stats. 17,600 hit points, which is pretty good. See here, there's no torpedoes. The artillery is 10.9 kilometers, which is similar to the Loyang, but the reload time is sub 2 seconds, 1.8 seconds. You might be able to change that a little bit with a loadout option, or I mean an upgrade option, as well as commander options. So that could go down even lower than 1.8 seconds, it seems. HE shell damage and AP shell damage is right around 2,000, but the fire setting chances is quite a bit higher at 8%. So this really looks like the quality of a ship that I don't have, which is a sub 2-second reload time. I've got plenty of destroyers with mediocre torpedoes that have long range and slow speed, or short range and high speed. I do not have any destroyers that have a reload time below 2 seconds for their main guns. I'm not that great of a gunboat commander, as I've said many times, and I might be looking at this as a fun option to try out. So kind of excited for this, to be honest with you. Here's your AA numbers. Maneuverability, 36 knots. Turning circle radius is a little bit more than the Loyang. Rudder shift time is a little bit higher at 4 seconds, so I might want to use the second upgrade to reduce the rudder shift time. Concealment is 7.2 kilometers, and upgrade 3 will reduce that a little bit when I pick the concealment for the upgrade. And of course, Swirsky, his base trait is to reduce your concealment. And if you have Bay as an inspiration, that would be another lowering of the concealment. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Swirsky, and you can see what I'm talking about here, where I currently have him set up as a torpedo boat commander. Look at me now, that's not torpedo, but here, this is another back in stock. So every time you go between the Biscuit and the Orkan with Swirsky and the Friesland, you're going to have to change this out, because these torpedo skills are not going to be of any use in the Friesland. And over here, what I was planning to do is change Tyrwhitt. Tyrwhitt gives me a quicker reload of the torpedoes, and what I would be selecting instead is this guy right here. You can see his base trait is the destroyer's detectability time after firing the main guns is down to it gets reduced by another 18.75%, at his current rank at 14.1. I'm thinking about upgrading him even higher, but this is the commander for the Agile. So I've been working on a gunboat commander for a while, and my plan is to see if I can max this guy out and make something happen with this base trait, this inspiration, to reduce the destroyer's detectability time after firing the main guns. And I haven't really been that successful, but you can see here, to adopt the inspiration, it would take 7 battles. So let's go ahead and select him. You can see I can boost the adoption for a cost of 21,000 Commander XP. I have 1.5 million Commander XP, so that wouldn't be a big deal. But every time I switch between the Friesland and the Orkin or the Biscuit, I've got to go and make this change to swap out this adoption. So I think people have talked about having different commander inspirations and setups depending on the ships that they are commanding, but that's not what we have right now. So this is the kind of rigmarole you'd have to go through if you select the Friesland and you want to max out Jerzy Swirsky's capabilities to match the Friesland versus the Biscuit or the Orkin, where you want to stay with a torpedo boat, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened to the interface. You can see these are new mission tabs here. Renown, I think, is your HAVOC. Trials are things like the daily boost, premium supplies, and the weekly boost. And here you can go to Renown. Here's the weekly HAVOC and the heroic effort. And I did hear that legendary was going to be incorporated with the progress here for the weekly HAVOC, and you can see that it is. It says down here for the requirements, you have a gray anchor, which is AI missions. The red anchor is standard missions, and so you see for the endurance trials, you always could do those in AI or standard, but the shakedown trials, you have to do it in standard, and that's what these anchor insignias show. And here you can see on the tab that the requirement for the endurance trials is tier 3 through legendary, where before it was tier 3 through 7 on one tab, and then the last few months they had a separate tab for legendary, so you could do the entire progress with just legendary ships for the endurance trials. So here, earn 2,500 XP before bonuses. You could do that with tier 3 through tier 7 in the previous months, or if you wanted to use legendary ships, you had to grind all your legendary ships to be able to get to 2,500 XP before bonuses. Here, it doesn't matter whether you use legendary or the tier 3 through tier 7. Anything you use is going to count up on this one tab here. And so that is a welcome addition to the game with this update. So this is great. Heroic effort, the same thing. You can see it's tier 5 through legendary, and for example, the shakedown trial, prevail 1 in 5 battles, become the best among both teams by XP received. You have to do that 5 times to meet this milestone, and in the past, if this were in the options in previous months, you could do this in 5 legendary battles or 5 battles with tier 5 through tier 7 ships. So here you can do it with either or, which is another great addition with this upgrade, and I'm really glad to see this with this update. Okay, so let's take a look at the Halloween missions. And here, when I first saw this, you have to earn 15 stars. I initially thought that it was you have to win 15 missions, which would be a heck of a grind. But when I looked at the rules online, you can find those rules pretty easily if you look in the patch notes, I think. You earn 15 stars. So each mission has a possibility of earning 5 stars per mission. So you can earn 1 star per mission, 2, 3, 4. If you earn 5 stars per mission and do great in 3 missions, you could accomplish all of these milestones on each of these tabs per ship. So each ship you need to earn 15 stars. And as I said, it could be 5 stars per mission. So if you do great for nine battles, you can get through this pretty quickly. Otherwise, it might be a little bit of a grind. And in the end, you get 1 Halloween crate per ship and a mission reward. Okay, so it's the same thing for riding the Pegasus or Spookiness Ahead. You have to earn 15 stars, and again, I think each battle you can earn up to 5 stars per battle if you do really good. And if you do all those missions and complete all those goals per ship, you get a total of 10 promotion orders, which potentially could be a lot of grinding for 10 promotion orders. If you're having fun, that's a great way to go, and nobody cares about that, the grinding, because you're having fun. So but that's what it is. Ominous Days, this is a daily reset of 2 stars per ship. So most people can probably do 2 stars. Well, that's it for the Halloween 2021 events and the Element of Choice campaign and all of the new updates to the interface. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.